My Dandavat Pranams, Haribol, Haribol. Welcome to another reading of Jaiva Dharma, and we're into the Rasa Tattva section. We'll probably conclude chapter 28 today. So today is Saturday, the 6th of July, 2024. Very auspicious day. It's the Gundicha Marjanam, the cleaning of the Gundicha temple in preparation for the Lord of the Universe, Jagannath Dev, and his brother and sister, Baladev and Subhadra, to enter tomorrow. So today is Gundicha Majna, and we're celebrating that. So we'll have a kirtan, and then we'll begin. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Deshaviti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, No Ramo, Hare Hare, Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Nitya Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gouda Hari Bol, Nitai Gouda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gouda Hari Bol, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gouda Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gouda Hari, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gouda Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gouda Hari, Jaya Radha, Madana Mohan Radha, Madana Mohan Radhe, Jaya Radha, Madana Mohan Radha, Madana Mohan Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, 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 Radhe. Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga Ganahabhaga Giridhare Radha Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Vrishabhana Nandini Vajeshwari Radharani Ki Jai Jai Nityananda Rai Ki Jai Sachinandana Gaurahari Ki Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Surabhi Kunj Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Srila Gaura Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Saptam Goswami Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudi Bharantaracharya Ki Jai Jai Rasik Siramani Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Treya Ki Jai Jai Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bharadasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu's Ki Jai Arupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Jai Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Gauda Parasada Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Siga Hosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gauda Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai Shri Antadvip Mayapur Simantadvip Gautandvip Madhyadvip Koladvip Ritudvip Janadvip Modandvip Rududvip Apmaganavadvip Dham Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Govardhan Dwarasa Varmarpika Shri Braja Mandal Ki Jai Shri Radha Kun Shama Kun Ganga Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani Ki Jai Shrimati Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi Maharani Ki Jai Gopishwa Mahadev Ki Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ki Jai Ketra Mandal Ki Jai Sarva Vigna Vinasakari Shina Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Bhakta Prabha Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Charidham Ki Jai Chari Sampradaya Ki Jai Charya Charya Ki Jai Akara Mataraj Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai Shri Keshav Ji Gaudiya Mat Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Gauta Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Om Agina Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jina Tasmai Shri Gurube Namaha Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Priya Swarupe Daita Swarupe Prema Swarupe Sahaja Virupe Nijana Rupe Prabhuika Rupe Tatana Rupe Swavilasa Rupe Alapita Chirin Chirat Kuruna Bharti Nokalo
Samarpaitam unnata ujvala rasam swabhakti shriyam Hari purata sundarata dikatamba sadipita Sadahridare kandare spudatu vasachinandanaha Yam prabhajantamana petyam apeti krityam Dvaipaino viraha katara ajuhava Putre titam mayatayo tarabo vinidus Tam sarvabhutam hridim munimanatoshmi Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay Shiptascha karmadi tarangamadye Kripa tvam sharanam prapana Brinde namaste charanaravindam Bhajami radham aravinda netram Smarami radham madhurashmitasyam Vadami radham karuna paradram Tato mamanasti katina kapi Tavaivasmi najivami tvaivina Iti vignaya rate tvam nayamam charanantikam. I'm first of all offering millions and millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astota Zadashi Shimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions of times unto the lotus feet of our dearmost dearmost Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astota Zadashi Shimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And to our beloved Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamane Gauda Shakti Swarapaya Rupanuka Prayate, and all our illustrious Rupanuka Uravarga and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavnevyo Vaishnavi Namo Namaha. So as I said earlier, today is the Gundicha Marjanam, cleansing of the Gundicha temple in preparation for Lord Jagannath's visit tomorrow. He'll come previously. The Sevaks of Jagannath would just perform this task, but Mahaprabhu inaugurated this festival to exemplify the opportunity to clean Krishna's abode, particularly today for the devotees who are not actually in Puri taking part in that festival or cleaning in another temple. Then our focus on cleaning our hearts are very important today, so we can consider that. So I believe that we clean our hearts by chanting these Rasa Tattva chapters. So we'll come to page 831 of our Falshruti. Jaiva Dhamma pate se Shuddha Bhakti hoy, Jaiva Dhamma na palire kavi bhakti noy. One who reads Jaiva Dhamma with faithful deliberation will surely attain Shuddha Bhakti. One who does not read Jaiva Dhamma can never attain Bhakti. Yes, if we don't read Jaiva Dhamma, how? Jaiva Dhamma symbolizes the collection of all the Shastras as we described previously. So all the Shastras are collected within the pages of Jaiva Dhamma. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was such an erudite scholar. He knew, he was conversant with and wrote upon so many of the Shastras. We were hearing yesterday so much glorification of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Rupa Nuga Abhiman Pate Drita Hoy, Jaiva Dhamma Vimukha Ke Dharma Hine Koi. Faithfully reading Jaiva Dhamma will surely strengthen one's abhiman as a Rupa Nuga, a follower of Rupa Goswami. One who is averse to reading Jaiva Dhamma is certainly devoid of religious principles. Yes. Java Jivane Jai Pade Jaiva Dharma Bhaktiman Se Jana Brita Jnana Karma. One who faithfully reads Jaiva Dhamma throughout his entire life will be endowed with bhakti and will surely realize the futility of Gyan and Karma. Krishnera Ramala Seva Labi Senara Seva Sukhi Magnara Sada Krishna Para. Such a man, being fully devoted to Sri Sri Radha Krishna Yugal Kishore and having attained their Amal Prem Seva, remains forever merged in the bliss of such immaculate loving service. He remains forever merged eternally in that bliss. One who is devoted to serving Sri Radha Krishna Yugal Kishore. So we'll come to our chapter now. and we're into page 602. So yesterday we were glorifying Gadadhar Pandit as well as Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so we missed yesterday. So just recapping something, we've been describing in this chapter the Mukhya Rati. What are the principal relationships and the secondary, the Gona relationships. So these 8 Staibhavs, our own Staibhav, 1, and the 7 Gona bhavs constitute 8, makes a total of 8. And plus the 33 Sanchari bhavs, the 8 Sattvika bhavs, makes a total of 49 bhavs. So this we discussed on the previous page. And now I'll read the last paragraph where we read last time. It's halfway down, 602. Rati, which is part of the inconceivable rasa tattva, is enchanting. This is important to appreciate the inconceivability of rati to the rational, intelligent mind. It's beyond words. Is enchanting to the mind. It actually implants vibhavita, Krishna's roop and so on, within itself. Implants, it means Krishna is already in the heart, but it wakes up that appreciation, realization of Krishna. In this way, nourishes itself along with vibhav and so on. Rati illuminates Krishna's qualities, such as his roop, which are the abode of all types of madhurya. So it's illuminating that by the power of our love, we will appreciate more deeply Krishna's qualities. Hence, Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvika, and Vyabhachari bhavs assist Rati. This Rati that we're talking about here, this is the essence of these Staibhav. These Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvika bhavs, and Vyabhachari bhavs are assisting Rati, and Rati also nourishes these bhavs. It's reciprocal. Rajanath, what is the difference between Vishaya Rati and Krishna Rati? So understand the question. Vishaya Rati means the individual, the sadhak, who's relishing his own sweetness, Vishaya. If he is the enjoyer, it'll be explained. What is the difference between Vishaya Rati and Krishna Rati? Vishaya Rati is mundane, because it's not focused on Krishna, whereas Krishna Rati is transcendental. In mundane Rati, there is pleasure in meeting and extreme distress in separation. So this is not transcendental. However, when bhaktas who love Bhagavan achieve Krishna Rati, it turns into rasa and gives rise to the pleasure of union. So there can be union in meeting or union in separation. Either way. At the time of separation, Vipralamba, the very Rati, assumes the form of an extremely wonderful and astonishing whirlpool of joy. So even in separation, whereas in mundane Rati, Vishmoy Rati, that separation will not turn into great anand. A whirlpool of joy, anand vivart. In the conversation between Sriman Mahaprabhu and Rai Ramananda explains this astonishing ananda vivart of separation in his own shloka. Pahili he rag nayane bange bela. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 8:194. This shloka appears to describe intense suffering, but in fact it is full of the highest type of happiness. So this is the Anand Vivart. This is the distinction between Vishaya Rati and Krishna Rati. This was the question that he asked. So in Krishna Rati, that separation mood turns into the highest joy, whereas Vishaya Rati, that mundane Rati, that separation will turn into distress ultimately. Rajanath, logicians say that the rasa that we see is not fully manifest. It is only part of the whole rasa. How can we answer this contention? So logicians, that means mundane people, right? The conditioned souls. This is what the question means. It's not talking about siddhas. Actually, it is true, Goswami. Actually, it is true that the rasa aroused by interactions in the material world, jadarasa, is only part of the whole rasa. So we're trying to understand the transcendental rasa, but we can't help but make comparisons to the material rasa. But it's stating here clearly the enormous distinction between the two. This is what this is about. Is only part of the whole rasa, because rasa is only manifested when staibhav combines with the ingredients of samagri of ras. So that means the samagri. We know the samagri is the mix, the vibhav, the anubhav, the vyabhachari bhav, the sattvika bhav. All of these are mixing together on the lake of the staibhav. So that is a transcendental rasa. Prior to that, now before that stage, it remains unmanifest. So that bliss remains unmanifest before the stage that we're talking about here. We're still talking about jadaras. Prior to that, it remains unmanifest until this samagri is the vibhav. That's the alamban. That's the vishaya and the ashraya. These two components, and the udipan, etc. This is the description of vibhav. And then the anubhavs that we described, then the sattvika bhavs that we described, these manifestations coming on the body. And then the vyabhachari bhavs we described last time, these emotions coming and like waves, yes, like invading the heart. So they're transitory. But all of these are ingredients of pure ras. And if they're not there, then it's simply jadaras. Prior to that, it remains unmanifest. But this is not the case with the transcendental ras, aprakat chinmoy ras. Yes, in aprakat chinmoy ras, this everything is alive. In the stage of perfection, siddha, it is eternal, undivided, and self-manifest. We read so much about self-manifesting bhakti, especially in Madhurya Kadambini in the first chapter. Bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya. It's saying that bhakti comes from bhakti. It's self-manifesting. Yes, it comes from self. It's already there. During the stage of sadhan, that means in the conditioned stage, the siddhas don't perform sadhan, they're realized. So during the stage of sadhan, one can realize this same ras in the manifest form in the mundane world. So you have some idea in the mundane world. Mundane world in this context means chintya, means it can be understood by the mind, by the rational intelligence. There's some cognition there. Because achintya means beyond the mind. So it hasn't reached that stage, so it's mundane. Mundane, I'll read that again. During the stage of sadhan, one can realize this same ras in the manifest form in the mundane world. That anand, that bliss. Mundane ras does not endure in separation, whereas transcendental ras becomes even more beautiful in the condition of separation. Why did Krishna leave Vrindavan for 100 years? Because he could see that beautiful pastime that took place at Prem Sarovar,
when Madhumangal chases the bumblebee away and comes back, Madhusudan is gone forever. And all the Sakis witnessed Sri Radhika's Prem Vaichitya, this high mood of separation. And then Krishna, at that point, my Gurudev explains, Krishna decides to leave Vrindavan because he can see that separation mood is so exalted and extreme. Also, Krishna wanted to show the world the height of the gopis' prem by they being able to endure his absence. So there are many reasons for Krishna going, but this is one of them.
Can I ask question?
Be careful.
Okay, it is according with last.
Speak louder.
Okay, it means Jada Rasa. It's
Mundane.
Jada Rasa.
Yes.
Mundane
Yes,
rasa.
yes.
But it is between woman and man, or
Yes,
sadhaka and
yes, woman and man, anything.
It is not.
It is not apricot.
Sadhaka and
No,
Krishna.
no. Jad
Jada.
means dull.
Between woman and man.
Generally, yes. Or if some impersonal joy is coming, we're talking about the bliss. We're talking about this Ananda Vivart. This, now, very often, when we're reading, and if there's something we don't quite fully connect with, be patient and keep reading. Actually, today I read this particular paragraph a number of times trying to understand it, but when I finally read the next paragraph, then everything made sense. So we have to just keep going, and very often our questions and doubts will be revealed. Don't stop halfway. You have to let Bhaktivinoda Thakur finish what he's saying. This apricot chinmoy ras, this is not jat, this is apricot, as the playful pastime manifestation, vilas roop, of the Hladini Mahashakti, has attained tadatmya, oneness with the supreme bliss, Paramananda. That's the highest bliss, pleasure. In other words, Paramananda is itself rasa. This is beyond the realm of logic and argument because it is achintya, whereas in the Jada rasa that we've just described, it is chintya, logical, because Brajanath's question was, Brajanath, logicians. So he's answering that. Brajanath, how many types of rasa are there in apricot tattva? Goswami, there is one mukhya form of rati and 7 gona forms. So there are 8 types of rati altogether. So there's one mukhya applying to us, but there's 5 when you apply it to everybody else. So it becomes 8. Similarly, mukhya ras is also one of the 5 types, and there are 7 types of gona ras. So there are also 8 types of rasa. Brajanath, kindly tell me the names of all 8. The more I hear, the more my desire to hear increases. Goswami, Rupa Goswami has stated in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.5.115, Mukhyas tu panchada shanta prita prayams cha vatsalaha madurash chetyami neya yata purvam anuttama hasyo bhutas tato vira karuna rodra iti api bhayankaha sa vibats iti gonash cha saptada. There are 5 types of mukhya bhakti ras: Shanta, Prita, Preya, Vatsalya, and Madhur. So sometimes we'll see Bhaktivinoda Thakur is using a different word for Sakya ras, for example, Preya, and Prita for Dasya. So don't make it a problem. It is to be understood that the first of these 5 is lower than the second lower than the third, and so on in sequence. Besides these, there are 7 types of Gona Rati Ras, Gona Bhakti Ras: Hasya, Adbhuta, Vira, Karuna, Rodra, Bhayanka, and Bibats. So this is the words of
These are the words of Srila Rupa Goswami. And we posted that beautiful verse from the back cover of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu yesterday. This is very powerful. If you collect some of these verses that we're sending through and have them printed up, they collectively, they really support our study here. Brajanath, what is the meaning of the word bhav in the context of Chinmoy Ras? Yes, so what is the uppercut nature of bhav in Chinmoy Ras? Chinmoy Ras means the transcendental world. Goswami, in Rasa Tantra, the word bhav indicates the sentiment that is awakened by deep spiritual impressions, gada sanskars, the subject of meditation in the heart of the learned, whose intelligence is exclusively applied to spiritual subject matter. These impressions, sanskar. I have mentioned earlier that there are two types of bhav, chintya, conceivable, and achintya. So those that are conceivable are considered within this mundane realm. One can apply logic to the subject of chintya bhavs. That's what we've just discussed. Because all such bhavs that arise in the conditioned mind of the Baddha Jiva, not the Nitya Jiva, are born of the inert material nature. Very simple. This means that one can think about their subject matter. Similarly, any mundane thoughts about Ishvara are also chintya bhav. If you're thinking about Krishna in a mundane way, that is also rational and intelligent. So it's also applying logic. It's chintya bhav. Actually, bhavs related to Ishvara are not chintya because Ishvara tattva is beyond the mundane substance. However, it is a mistake to think Ishvara tattva is beyond the inert material energy, and consequently, there is no conceivable bhav in him. Therefore, there is no bhav at all in Ishvara. Someone might consider that if he's thinking from a chintya perspective. Actually, all the bhavs exist in relation to Ishvara, but they are achintya because they are beyond the thinking capacity of the material mind. These explosions, experiences of utter paramananda that we've just described in the Chinmoy Ras are manifested in the self-realized condition, when by our sadhan has manifest deeply as this Amal Prem Seva directly to the divine couple under guidance of Guru. Then Guru will bestow the mercy to have the realization of this in the achintya realm. He'll take it out of the chintya. Actually, all the bhavs exist in relation to Ishvara, but they are achintya because they are beyond the thinking capacity of the material mind. Bring those inconceivable bhavs into the heart. All those things that go beyond the mind, bring them into the heart and go on cultivating them with undivided attention. You should know that one of those bhavs is permanent, sthayi. One of those inconceivable bhavs will be reflecting into our permanent nature, our permanent sthayi bhav. And you should accept the other achintya bhavs as the ingredients, samagri. Every time we say the ingredients, we think of the vibhav, anubhav, sattvika bhav, and vyabhachari bhav. We think of all these, of rasa. When you do so, the eternally perfect nitya siddha ras, which is full of uninterrupted akananda, will arise within you. So this is beyond the consciousness, and yet we're describing it in words because the luminaries of our Guru Varga have been able to cast this extremely esoteric subject matter into the rational realm
so that we can begin to focus our journey. If we don't have our focus on the sadhya while we're performing the sadhana, and what is the sadhya? Always we've described this kleshagni shubhada is sadhana, and then mokshalakhuta krit sadulabha. This is bhav bhakti. So sadhana bhakti that is not focusing on bhav bhakti is practically zero. So this is giving us a clear indication of the nature of bhav and how to progress in this realm. Rajanath, Prabhu, what are the deep impressions, Gada Sanskars, that you have spoken of in this context? Goswami, Baba, you have been revolving in the cycle of karma, birth after birth, and thus because of attachment to worldly sense gratification, your consciousness, chitta, is made up of two types of impressions, sanskars, namely those acquired in previous lives, praktana, and those acquired in this lifetime, adunika. Brahman, Brahmite, Konya, Bhagavan, we've been revolving around so many different Brahmans, and we've built these impressions. Praktana are the ancient ones. During this time, the pure tendency of the heart that was present in the pure existence of your Atma has become distorted. We've heard this word before in the first chapter or the second chapter, this nishag. This nishag was introduced in the second chapter or the first chapter in connection with the example of ice. The ice may have been a block of ice for millions of years, but its nature is not actually hard. Its essential nature is liquid. So when the warm current comes, the hard ice will go back to its original form. So we are also like that ice. We have become covered so deeply by these impressions. During this time, the pure tendency of the heart that was present in the pure existence of your Atma has become distorted. Distorted in the sense that I'm thinking of myself rather than Krishna. Now, by the influence of spiritual merits, sukriti or bal shakti, accumulated in many previous lives, you have attained satsanga in this life, and you are creating sanskars by performing bhajan in this association. This is appreciating what we have. If you're listening to this Jaiva Dharma, it's indicative that we have accrued the sanskars to actually, we've acquired the eligibility to hear this from many previous births. When these sanskars dispel the distorted sanskars, that distortion of me being the center, but Krishna being the center, your original sanskars will arise because they'll be in relation to Krishna. They won't be the Vishaya Rati that we discussed before. They'll be the Krishna Rati. The Achintya Tattva will manifest within your heart to the degree that these sanskars deepen. This is known as Gada Sanskar. My Gurudev would say so many times that some devotees would come to this path and they would just be like on a rocket from the very beginning. And this would indicate their previous sanskars. But others, even as old men, could not grasp these very subtle conceptions because they hadn't yet accrued the various sanskars necessary, the impressions, the association. Sanskars comes from like living in Vrindavan, living in Goradam, being in the company of Mahabhagavats, powerful devotees, all these different impressions associating with Jamuna Devi, Ganga Devi, Giriraj Govardhan, Tulsi Devi. All these give very powerful influences in our consciousnesses. Rajanath, I am curious to know who has the adhikar eligibility to enter into Rasa Tattva. Now, I'm hoping that you're going to be earmarking some of these questions that are asked because they're very beautiful. The part about sanskars, we should know where it is. It's at the end of chapter 28. And this question now, who has the adhikar
the eligibility to enter into Rasa Tattva. Goswami, the only candidates for Rasa Tattva are sadhaks who can bring into their hearts the achintya bhavs arising from the gada sanskars, according to the sequence that I have described. Others are not qualified. So bringing in these ancient, praktana, and adunika, which is pastimes, sanskars coming in this lifetime, when we can pull these impressions into the heart. And Rupa Goswami has said, Vyatitya bhavana vartma yash chamatkar bara bhu kridi sato jwala badam swadate saraso mata. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.5.79. Rasa is the miraculous staibhav, which is the veritable repository of wonder, and which is experienced after the sadhak crosses beyond the path of contemplation. The path of contemplation is still bound by chintya bhavs. It hasn't crossed into achintya. There's still logic and rational when you're contemplating. It hasn't gone beyond words. It is relished in the heart that has become radiant from being thoroughly and completely refined by Shuddha Sattva. So how beautiful to read this verse on the day of Gundicha Marjana. We are trying to purify our hearts. This verse actually, just for your information, is quoted by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, same verse in his commentary on in the 10th canto, chapter 43, where Krishna kills the elephant, Kuvalyapidi, in text 17. And in the commentary, he's saying the same verse as here. And this is a slightly different translation, which is probably easier to catch. That which is beyond imagination. It's the same verse. That which is beyond imagination, heavy with wonder, and relished in the heart, shining with goodness. Such is known as rasa. Beyond imagination, that means beyond words, beyond contemplation. Achintya. Heavy with wonder, that means like astonishment and extreme seva, extreme bliss of seva. And relished in the heart, shining with pure goodness. Tasted. That rasa is tasted. So this is the qualification for the adhikar of rasa. Brajanath, who is unqualified, unadhikari for this rasa? It is offensive to explain rasa to someone who is not qualified, just as it is an offense to give harinam to an unqualified person. Prabhu, we are low and destitute wretches. Please give us your mercy and make us cautious in this regard. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the acharya, really, of the age, giving us this in such careful context. Goswami, renunciation that is indifferent towards Shuddha Bhakti can be called pretentious renunciation. Sometimes people want to perform all sorts of different austerities in the name of renunciation, but it's not in the name of Shuddha Bhakti. It's not that they're trying to increase their pure attraction and devotion to Krishna. This is called Falgu Vairagya. Falgu is a river that's under the ground. It doesn't look like a river. It seems like it's covered. And knowledge that is indifferent towards Shuddha Bhakti can be called dry speculation. Shushka Gyan, dry speculation. Those who are not favorable to Shuddha Bhakti are all unqualified for the subject of rasa. For example, false renunciants, dry speculators, those who are dedicated to mundane logic, always wanting to rationally come to a conclusion, argumentative.
those who follow karma mimams. That means they just believe that karma is the principle, and who praise the dry logic, Shukshma Gyan, section of the Uttara Mimams. Those who are averse to relishing bhakti, they're not looking for the higher taste, they're looking for something in this realm. How many devotees do we know like this? They're running around doing so many apparent savas, but how much are they dedicated to waking up the reality of their devotional sentiments towards serving Radha and Krishna? You might be doing so many things, building a big temple, laying bricks all day, putting, making money all day, doing all kinds of different things. But if the objective is not to come with the heart melting towards service, towards Radha and Krishna, then what is its value ultimately? There might be given value in an institutional environment. People will pat you on the back for being a very hard worker. But actually, how is your heart melting? It can have the opposite effect. If everyone's patting you on the back, you can just become proud.
I heard when we do some seva, we should understand with which mood we have.
Yes.
When we're doing
Yes.
seva. Because
Even
we're
cleaning a
more
floor,
mechanical.
cleaning a floor can be completely Shuddha Bhakti. But if you clean the floor every single day and it's just hard work and I don't like to do it, then it's not Shuddha Bhakti. So any service can be focused on Shuddha Bhakti or not. It depends on the focus of attention and the mercy of our Guru Varga. Those who are averse to relishing bhakti and those who follow the mundane philosophical system of Kevala Advaitavad. Rasik Bhaktas who will protect Krishna Bhakti Ras from these unqualified people, just as one protects a valuable treasure from thieves. This Bhakti Ras is so valuable. Rajanath, today we have been blessed. We will obey the instructions that we have received from your divine lips in all respects. Vijay, Prabhu, I support myself with whatever wealth I acquire from reciting Srimad Bhagavatam in an open assembly of general people. So why is he bringing this up here now? Because is he reciting the Bhagavatam with a pure intention of inspiring his own Shuddha Bhakti and the Shuddha Bhakti within the hearts of others? Actually, we find out no. But Srimad Bhagavatam is Rasa Grantha. Is there any apparat in collecting money by reciting it to common people? So Bhagavatam is a Rasa Grantha. But if I'm using it to collect money for myself, am I engaged in Shuddha Bhakti? Or am I engaged in Karma Mishra Bhakti? I'm engaged in Karma Mishra Bhakti. It's not Shuddha Bhakti. If I'm just doing it for money, if I'm on a preaching circuit and I'm just concerned all the time with how much money I'm going to get my next ticket to go here and go there and everything else.
It is badly because it is like apparat.
Yes, listen, it's the same. By reciting Goswami, Aho, Srimad Bhagavatam is the crest jewel of all Shastra. It is the embodiment of the fruit of all the Vedic Shastras. You should simply follow the instruction in the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 113. Mohur aho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. O Rasik Bhaktas, who are expert in relishing the ras of Bhagavat Priti, even in your liberated stage, you should keep on repeatedly drinking the ras of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of the wish-fulfilling tree of the Vedas. According to this shloka, only Bhavuka and Rasik Bhaktas are considered qualified to drink the ras of Srimad Bhagavatam. Baba, you should give up this occupation immediately. You eagerly desire ras, so don't make any more apparat to ras, raso vaisaha. In this statement of the Vedas, it has been said that rasa is the very swarup of Krishna. There are many other occupations by which you can maintain your life, and you should support yourself by one of them.
From now on, don't collect wealth by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to general people. Yes, if you meet any Rasik listener, you can recite Srimad Bhagavatam to him with great pleasure, but don't take any remuneration or donation. Then it's karma if you do, and it's not in the realm of Ras. Vijay. Prabhu, today you have saved me from committing a serious aparad. From now on, I will not do this anymore. But what will be the effect of the aparad that I've already committed? Goswami, those offenses will be vanquished. When you surrender to Ras with a simple heart, Ras will certainly forgive you. Don't be anxious about this. Yes, this simple heart means sincerely, always with this regret or remorse. This is what purifies. We've talked before about this. When there is remorse for something, regret. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings about it in so many bhajans. When I have this remorse about my previous sinful actions in my life, always trying to create money and a nice material situation and everything. But when I regret this, I'm unhappy that I've wasted my time doing like this. Like Narottam, he sings, this wasted my whole life drinking this poison of the material world. When one has that deep regret, then one can be purified of this. Vijay, Prabhu, I will maintain my life by some menial occupation, but I will not describe Ras to unqualified people, even if they offer me money. Goswami, Baba, you are fortunate. Krishna has certainly accepted you as his very own. Otherwise, it would not be possible for you to have such firm conviction in the subject of bhakti. Both of you are residents of Sri Navadvip Dham. Gaurahari has invested you with his potency. This is like a reference to the Gada Sanskars that we've just described. These two personalities that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is carrying us through have extremely fortunate Gada Sanskar. They're born in the holy Dham. They're born in Brahmin families. They're most educated. They are enthusiastic towards these topics because of this, because they have these Gada Sanskars. So if we don't have those, we don't know what sort of Sanskars we have, but it will be indicated by our interest in these types of subject matters. If we find that these are very fascinating topics, and I just want to go on listening more and more and more, even if I don't understand them, even if it's beyond my mind and intelligence, it's beyond my understanding, it's a chintya. Still, I'm enthusiastic to hear them because I'm absolutely convinced that they're going to purify my existence for a time when I will have some more deeper comprehension of them. So this is the end of the 28th chapter. So I think we'll finish a little bit today. And on Monday, no class tomorrow. On Monday, we'll start chapter 29, Rasa Vichar, Anubhavs and Shanta Dasya and Sakya Ras. This will be a much more in-depth appreciation of the different types of bhavs, the Sattvika bhavs and the Vyabhachari bhavs. It just becomes more and more relishable as we go on. And we have to take deeper and deeper shelter of our Guru Varga. And the sadhan bhajan that our Guru Varga have indicated us to perform, which principally is Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravanam, Murtaya Sevya, and what's the last one? Mathuravas and residing in the holy Dham. Mathuravas. And no, listen, you can't. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravanam.
Yes, I've already said that. I've already said that.
Yes.
Then Mathura Vas, and finally Sri Murti Sevaya. 5. You make me trip over. Yes, these are the 5 angas, the 5 principles. Everything has been boiled down. So sadhu sangha is number 1. If we want to continue to keep these topics on the boil in our consciousnesses, then we should make efforts. I can remember back in 2000, I think, and 4 or 5 in England, I met with 5 or 6 devotees who were versed in these topics, and we sat for a week just discussing these different chapters, exchanging with them in Watford in London, and it was very, very inspiring. There's just a few of us, and it was very inspiring in a small group like that. So if you have 1 friend or 2 friends that likes these, if you have 1 friend that likes to hear about these topics, then you're really blessed, because you want to keep them boiling. Because if you don't discuss them at some point, very quickly they will run away, because the other apparent material priorities will just jump in place very quickly. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Jaiva Dharma ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai.